Hey everybody, welcome to Dragonbane night at the Adventure Archive. How's it going? We are continuing the Secret of the Dragon Emperor campaign. However, the Path of Glory campaign just came out. So I'm excited to read that, and we're talking about running that very soon, so we'll keep you guys posted. But before I begin, don't forget to like the stream if you're watching right now or if you're watching the VOD to help us climb the algorithms. Also, thank you, Patrick P, for the Dragonbane system. He also created the Path of Glory system for Foundry, so I'm excited to really dive into that because I feel like every iteration of this thing gets better and better and better, and so it'll be cool to see how far it's come. And then thank you, Andreas and Noel, for the awesome music that we listen to here every night. And thank you guys for joining us tonight. Sam is here. Sounds like he's at work, but he decided to stop by and check it out. So thanks for doing that. And yeah, let's begin with a brief recap. So the players, they left Outskirt and they stopped by this strange chapel. They met like a doomsday guy of some sort in this moldering chapel and decided it was best if they move on. And so they did, following Donovan's, I don't know if you want to call it like a gut feeling or however this treasure ability manifests in Donovan. You guys headed west, and you made it to an old mine called Bothild's Lode. You guys approached, you found it deserted. You did see in the ravine there was a lot of old, broken down mining equipment that's just been here for who knows how long. And but you approached this big stone gate that was kind of ajar, and you noticed a bunch of symbols on them that you guys, I think you deciphered most of them, if not all of them, but they've been vandalized. By who? We don't know. Well, we might know because you guys decided to go inside. And when you went inside though, I forgot to mention, you guys also noticed that there's like arrow slits on the second level. You saw movement when you guys kept a watch outside. You did see that there's some fire, some torch light or something going on in there, and there were shadows moving. So clearly somebody is manning the upper levels of this mine. And you guys snuck over successfully. I think it was that when we got the double dragon? Was that Sariel, I think, who got that? Mm-hmm. Anyways, you guys made it in, and you found yourself in this dimly lit corridor where you're standing right now. The strange thing was, though, is that the ceiling almost looked like the night sky with glimmering stars. But you did see also some movement up above, presumably the same people or whatever they are lurking in the second level of this mine. And then you went onward into another gate and found an even larger chamber, which we can see right here if you're watching with us on YouTube. Where there is a statue in the center of it. It's a very large chamber, and you spotted 8 goblins kind of hanging around. They look like they're on guard duty, but they don't seem to be very active. They're just kind of sticking to the 4 corners of the room mostly. And you guys vaguely caught glimpses of some other passageways to the north and the south and the east. But rather than having a conversation or sneaking into the room, I believe you guys decided to back your way into the corridor behind you, and it was Bramble who, what did you say, Bramble?
I think it was something I made fun of the graffiti in the hallway or something like that.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was
yelled it into this room.
Yeah, it was like it sucks, and then you guys like backed up. And I think Gideon, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you like climb up to the wall and there's like a little bit of a ledge above the gate that you're perched on?
Yeah.
That's what happened. Correct. Okay. So this is where we are. Bramble is at the front of the gate here that leads to the chamber. Gideon is kind of hovering over him in Battletoad style. And it looks like Donovan and Sariel have exited the corridor, so they're now on the outside of the entrance of the mine. So that's where we're going to begin. And as you shout these very, very offensive words, Bramble, did you close the door or did you leave it open? I can't remember.
Yeah, I left it open.
You left it open. Okay, so it's
but
you
goal
didn't swing it open, right?
No. I don't remember how wide the door was already open.
It was like it was just cracked, and then yeah.
I may have pushed it open enough to be able to walk through.
But it's not swinging open. Gotcha.
No. Okay. But I yelled out loud enough to get their attention and maybe make them a little upset before running back into the tunnel. The thought is to run back into the tunnel.
Yeah.
And maybe out towards with the rest of my party.
Okay, so that's what's going on. And I forgot to say hello to Marisun. It's been a while, man. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us tonight. Okay, so what happens next is you kind of back up into the darkness, and you see some of these goblins start to creep over to investigate. So they make it to about here. I guess they're in like a V formation, like a bunch of geese or something. But one of them takes the lead, and he's peeking in the door, and they're speaking in Goblin. You can't quite make it out. I don't know. You don't speak Goblin, right? I guess you've never really seen a Goblin. So they're speaking gibberish, and they're slowly creeping forward. They have their hands, you can see on the hilts of their swords at their side, but they haven't drawn steel yet. Are you going to hold your ground, or what would you like to do?
So Bramble his only goal is to get back on the other side of that tunnel and out of the building.
Okay, so you're going to be backing all the way up down the corridor.
He is running out that way.
Running out that way. Okay, yeah. So you start dashing. Feel free to move your token. You start running. Gideon, are you like propping up still there above the door?
So yeah, Gideon is still perched up above the door. He's got the large shield out, kind of hopefully keeping him from view.
Okay, I gotcha. Yeah. So you're kind of holding it opposite you, so you're like almost like a hanging shield on the wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm wondering, since Gideon is a scholar of monsters and such, would he possibly understand the goblins?
Yeah, if you want to roll a languages check.
Cool.
You might be able to pick out some words. So that is it's a failure at a 9. Failure. What is your languages?
7.
7. Okay. So you can push the roll if you'd like. Otherwise, it sounds indecipherable to Gideon.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
Okay. So yeah, these guys continue their chatter here and there. You can tell that they're trying to keep quiet despite Bramble shouting. But what does happen is Bramble, you are running your way down the corridor, and you hear this hiss of liquid, and it's coming from above you.
Oh no!
And what I need you to do is you kind of quickly gaze up, and you see just amid the sparkling roof, you see this liquid just steaming down, falling down at you. So you can either choose to try to dodge it, or you can take some damage. As whatever this is falling from the sky.
Yeah. Bramble will definitely try to leap out of the door.
Okay, so that works. So why don't you roll me an evade, and we'll see what happens. And you see this quite clearly, Gideon, I guess peeking over your large shield. It looks like, that's a success. So you dive out the door at the last second when all of this just liquid, you see this, Gideon, hits the ground, hits the stone floor, and just hisses, and steam is rising, turning this corridor into a steam room, basically. But yeah, Gideon or Bramble, you leap right out into the daylight. right into Donovan, I guess, because he's right there.
I'll move out of the way. I'll give him some space.
Yeah, and Gideon, you hear more chatter coming from above, and now that you saw something fall down, some kind of liquid. You do see the silhouettes of figures moving up, amid the quote unquote starlight.
And the chatters also sound like goblins?
Yes, it sounds very familiar. Sounds like the exact same kind of chatter you're hearing from the outside the door below you.
How far up above are they from me?
It's like a second story, so pretty high above, and it looks like there are there's like these dark gaps. Now that you can see where it came from, more arrow slits up there, and this appears to be where this liquid was dropped. And you're aware of this this sieging technique.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, but it's basically, I mean, you can think of it as like going up a staircase and being on a second floor. So
Okay.
you're kind of in the middle. Yeah, I mean, you could try to climb up there. There's no way you're going to fit through these arrow slits, but you could attempt to climb if you'd like.
Is there a way? Does it look like there might be a way up into where they are without?
Not that you can see. You see a series of arrow slits kind of running along the ceiling that are breaking up the starlight pattern, but that's it. You can't see it doesn't seem like there's a doorway or a hatch. Man, there's my raised hand again. Sorry, guys. Freaking Zoom. Anyway, I gotta keep my hands down. But yeah, you don't see any kind of doorway. You assume that there's probably another way to get up there.
I'm checking my inventory. I was gonna see if I could have anything to like shove in the arrow, but no, I don't have anything.
Yeah, all you do is see darts of movement across these arrow slits as these goblins presumably are scouting the area looking for anybody else. They don't seem to see you though, because of your I guess it's just your amazing camouflage ability.
I'll try to stay hidden.
Okay, so you're gonna stay up there. What about Donovan or Serial as Bramble just flies out of these front doors? What are you guys doing?
I think I'm just kind of intrigued by I think Donovan's just kind of caught up in what's going on. He's just seeing it as it's happening. Proud of Bramble for dodging out of the way of whatever that hot liquid was. And I think that's probably all he really could see.
Okay.
Because it was dark in there. And now it's steamy in there.
It's steamy in there, and as Bramble flies out of these front doors and gets to his feet, you hear a bell. Dong, dong, dong. It's kind of this rattly bell coming from. It sounds like the upper levels.
Ah, shit.
And that's when Gideon, you hear the skittering of tiny feet, and these goblins start to rush into this corridor. So they're kind of running right below you. They don't see you whatsoever.
Ooh. Is the corridor still steamy?
Yeah, I'll say a little bit. It's not like thick or anything like that, but there's some remnants of it, yeah.
Okay.
So they keep walking. Bramble, I guess if you're standing there, you start to hear the sound of footfalls coming in your direction. and little
Yeah.
little goblin sounds.
Yeah, Bramble will look at both of them before turning around. He will say, "I may have upset some goblins, and they're on their way." And I will pull out my my warhammer.
Okay. Did you guys? I'm guessing you did not close the door, right? You left them open because Bramble, you just kind of dove out into the light. So they're probably still hanging open.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the doors are all still open.
Okay, so you're standing there. You have your warhammer drawn. Do you want to do anything else, or are you just waiting for the dark shapes that are kind of rushing toward you?
I might step to the side, just like out of the clear view of them.
Okay.
If I can.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So you move out, and out like scarab beetles, you see these goblins rush out into the light. The first two make their way out.
The first sign of something running out, I think he's probably going to swing his warhammer at whatever first comes out of there.
Okay, cool. So then what I'll do is I'll move these guys back one. So as soon as this guy runs out, yeah, why don't you go ahead and swing at this guy with advantage because he has no idea that you're off to the side. I need to get some more action-y tunes here. I guess we'll do the old school one.
Bonk.
There we go. Okay, so you swing out and you do make you contact. He is not going to attempt to dodge. He has no idea what's going on, but he's dashing out and he has kind of this. He's dragging this short sword along, and yeah. Why don't you roll me some damage? Oh my God, what the heck? 17 points of damage. Okay, let's did you target this guy or at all or no?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't.
No worries. Let's see. I think it'll do it. Yeah, so you absolutely decimate this guy however you want to do it. If you cave his face in, cave his chest in, it's up to you.
I think that Bramble, this first hit is just so much, he just knocks the goblin's head right back down the hallway.
Oh,
like,
man.
over the head of the other ones, and the body continues running for a few steps. I
love it. So I'll just say, yeah, the body makes it to about here, and the head flies off. This is going to distract this guy, but he kind of pours out. He pours out into the light, and he's juggling the head of the other goblin. Ah! So his hands are busy. So I guess let's put everybody into combat now. Since we were sort of an out of combat situation. So I'll say that was a free ambush attack for you, Bramble. So now that everybody is in combat, we will roll initiative. Is this going to roll for everybody? No. I'll just roll it all. Okay, so we are beginning combat. And top of the initiative order is Donovan. So as this this goblin is juggling the head of his beheaded comrade, what do you want to do?
I'll try to hit him with my staff.
Okay, so melee,
Back.
and you're in melee distance, so you're good. You're good for an attack.
Roll.
Yeah, that hammer kills. Oh wait, I gotta scroll the way back down. And that is a success with a 7. So why don't you roll me some damage on this guy? And he, again, is far too busy to try to dodge anything. Okay, so that's 2. And then I will deal the damage. So he suffers... did that work? A 0.
Wearing armor.
Oh, yeah, he's got armor on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so the head drops to the ground, and he's coated in blood. He's like, he's spitting it out, trying to grapple to grab his sword, and that brings us to Gideon. So as you see these chaos erupt away from you at the other side of the hall. You don't quite know what's going on. You just hear goblins screaming. What would you like to do?
Does it sound like any more are approaching the door above?
Not yet. You just hear
Okay.
the cacophony of goblin death in front of you.
I'm gonna use the web whip to latch onto the door and shut it from above.
Okay, so it pushes open, so you're going to try to swing it down, attach it. Okay, so I would say the only way that's going to work is if you roll the 1. I think is what we decided, right? If you roll a 1, it sticks. Because there's really nothing for you to kind of wrap around. Like there's no doorknob or handle or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it'd be kind of hard to, yeah, because we decided it's only going to stick on like a, I think 1 in 6 chance.
That's fair. In that case, Gideon is going to jump down,
Oh,
shield
okay.
in hand,
Okay.
behind them, and he's going to shield rush this goblin here.
Oh, shield rush, man. I think shields are just an attack, right?
Yeah, they
I think
can
this-
be, right?
I think, yeah, I think this might be the first time we've used a shield in combat like this without being it. Maybe Morank looked it a long time ago. I don't remember, but I'm gonna need to briefly look that up. Shield, page 46 for those of you who are listening along. If you have a shield, you can parry with it instead of your weapon. There's a skill for shields, piercing damage. Where the heck is it? It's only for parrying? Nah, I think it's like a... Because it has a damage
It also
associated
has
with it,
bludgeoning on it. Yeah, it
Yeah,
has a D8.
I guess it's a straight attack.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
So yeah, go for it. So you're gonna hop down, rush over, pummel these guys with the shield.
Skills. Where is
So
there
if
a
you-
shield skill?
I think
Or-
there is. If not, you use strength. Is there
Okay.
shields? Is there shields? I don't see a shields.
I'm not seeing it.
Okay. Well, just give me a raw strength roll as you are rushing toward this guy at the back. And it succeeds. So, yeah, why don't you roll me some damage? He did not see you whatsoever. He briefly looked over his shoulder. So that is 2 points of damage on this guy, which is a, let's see, 1 HP. So you push him forward. Man, I can't remember if a shield shove is, if there's any additional effects. Where is it? Let's see, grip weapons, yeah, including shield, prone target. I don't see. Oh, wait, shove. If you hit an enemy with a melee attack, your strength. Oh, you know, this is what we've been forgetting to do. This is an optional rule, but if you hit an enemy with a melee attack and your strength damage bonus is equal to or higher than your opponent's damage bonus, you can choose to shove the enemy up to 2 meters in any direction. So that's something we should probably remember, because I think in this case it's applicable to an adjacent square if you're using a grid map. In addition to doing damage, this movement does not count toward the enemy's total movement. So what is your strength damage bonus?
Strength damage bonus is 0.
Oh, it's 0. Okay, well, I guess that's gonna not work then. So yeah, you hit him for 1 point of damage, and he kind of goes forward, almost bumping into the guy in front of him. Did you want to move at all, or are you gonna kind of just hold your ground with your shield?
If I took a single step back, that's an attack of opportunity, right?
Correct. Yes, you'd be stepping out of melee. Yeah.
I'll stay where I'm at.
Okay. All right. So next up, this guy. So he manages. He's dropping the head of his fallen comrade. He rips out his short sword from the sheath, and he kind of wheels on Donovan because you're the one who hit him. He doesn't quite see the small bramble right below him. So he is going to attempt to swing his short sword at you. So he is still stunned. He's covered in blood. He slips in the sand, and the blade just whoosh, goes right over your head.
Ah.
Ah. All right, Sariel, you're up. What would you like to do? Let me guess. Shoot him with an arrow. It looks like you got in position.
I am. All right, I'm gonna try.
And how many uses? So you do have a damaged bow. Like, how many uses did we mark? Do you remember? Before it resorts back to being
it was
a bane.
6, I think.
Yeah,
and
but
I used 1.
you've only used 1. Okay. This will
Yeah,
be
we
2.
didn't do any
guess.
combat last session, right? I don't think.
Nope, didn't.
You did hunt.
Oh, you did hunt. That's right.
I think it was 2 that you've used so far.
2. Okay, so then we got 4. 4 left.
Okay. How do I fix it? Do I have to go to like a specialist?
I think it takes time. That's the thing. So you can either take it somewhere and have it. I think Bramble can do it, but it just takes him like a shift or something, right? Or a stretch.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
I
I think
can't do
it's
it
just
myself.
I think it's just if I do it, it is with the blacksmith, like the blacksmith tools, and so it's always going to be, I think, temporary. So it'll just give you uses before it breaks again.
So do I need to go to like a woodworker?
I mean, if you went to like Outskirt and took it to one of those people, they could fix it for you.
Okay. But I can't do it like
Tell me what you want to do right now, and then I'll look up
Okay.
crafting specifically and see
okay,
exactly.
I'm
I know you
gonna
need the
shoot this
tools.
thing.
Ciao.
Okay, so you do definitely succeed with a 4. I'm gonna say he already attacked. He can't go. His turn's over. So why don't you roll me damage? Okay.
Yeah.
So that is 8 points of damage, but it only deals 7. But yeah, you get him like right in the clavicle, and it's almost in his throat, and he grabs it with one hand, and he's kind of teetering on his legs. He doesn't look so great. Which brings us to the next goblin. And he pushes past his friend out into the light, circles around, spots Bramble, and he is going to attempt to attack you with his short sword as well. So he swings. Okay, that's a success, and I don't think you've gone yet, Bramble, so you can decide to dodge if you'd like, or parry. That will just take your turn this round, though, or this, yeah. Oh, you're on mute. I can't hear you.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm gonna choose not to dodge.
Okay, so you're going to take the damage. Well,
I'm
let's
gonna
see.
take the damage. Yeah.
Yeah, it's only it's only 4, so I doubt. Or sorry, it's not 4 yet. It's going to be 7. But I know you're wearing a lot of stuff, so it only 0. What is your freaking armor?
I am only wearing. I'm wearing plus, I guess 4 gilded chainmail,
Break
and
or
then a helmet.
something?
Also, that's 5 total.
Oh, weird. I wonder why it Bramble, Ashwing, Stonecutter using short sword rolls a 7, but then you say that's weird. It should be 2.
Oh, it says my armor is 7. I wonder why it says that.
Oh, weird. Because you have gilded chainmail.
Yep, and that's the only thing I have checked. Your weapon does not count towards that, does it?
What do you mean?
Like like that my warhammer would not take some of that damage since I'm holding it in front of me or something like that, right?
I don't think so. That's a weird calculation. I don't know why it would have done that. Let's see,
I'll
damage
manually just
7,
take those
armor
2 damage
7.
then.
Yeah, okay, yeah, just take it down. That's weird. That's a weird. Usually everything works perfectly. Okay, so you take that tiny bit of damage, which brings us to the final goblin fellow. He rushes out, but it's too plugged up. There's 2 guys in the way. He can't quite make his way out, which brings us to you, Bramble. What would you like to do?
Bramble is going to attack the goblin that attacked him.
Okay, so this guy right here?
Correct.
Okay. Give me a swing. Ooh, 17, but that is a success. Dang, your hammers must be really high. Is it like 18?
Yeah, it's 17.
17. So, yeah, his turn is over. He cannot dodge, so roll that damage. Jeez. Destroyed. Okay, you however you want to dispatch this guy, you do it.
Yeah, this is I just smash him right in the chest.
Okay, and he
His
just
armor dents in a
collapses
little
into the
bit, or-
dirt. All right, that brings us to the end of round 1. Round 2 brings us to this goblin, and he isn't liking how things are going, so he starts to back up. And he kind of vanishes behind the... I'll give you a free attack still. Even though you guys are kind of... It's this weird situation where you're diagonal to him. So Bramble will get a free attack. I guess Donovan will too. Because you guys are both within melee range.
Can you move him back out there so I can target him?
Oh, yeah.
And then I will. Okay,
He's
got him.
probably done for. He has like 2 hit points left, I think. Okay, that's an 11. That's a success. Donovan unfortunately fails with an 18, but I don't think it's going to matter. He can't. He's running away, so roll that damage. And yeah, geez, 16 points of damage. Holy crap. So let me deal that damage. Yeah, you destroy him. You splatter him against the stone walls. And
I like the picture that I tried to hit it, but I swung after Bramble swung, so I just swung at red misted air.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. And then you're like, oh no. And then this guy he's running in this direction. But then actually I can't move him yet. Before Bramble. Now it's your turn again. So there's one more goblin. You can see him just barely inside this corridor.
Okay. I think Bramble is probably dumbstruck with how this is going. Like, he can't believe that this is happening. So I think he's maybe a little bit full of confidence that he's going to step out into the goblin's path.
Okay.
And he's going to attack him like that.
Okay. Okay, you rolled a 16. He is absolutely in fear at this point, so he's going to try to dodge. And let's see if he can evade at all here. His evade is not so hot. Okay, but he does. So he dodges out of your swing just barely, which brings us to you, Gideon. So you see this guy right in front of you ducking. He's almost like a silhouette because the sun is so bright outside.
I'm gonna move back and close the door.
Okay.
Just in case.
So yeah, you close the door. Anything else?
I don't think my movement can get me close enough to attack, so I'm gonna stay here.
I bet it is if you want to. I think your movement's like 14. So that's like you'd only move 6 meters. So if you want to, you can. But if you want to stay put, it's fine too.
I think y'all could handle him up there. I'm gonna stay by the door, just in case anyone tries to open it.
Okay. All right. That brings us to Serial. So you see a bit of a melee going on beyond the gates in the hallway, but you can't see much other than the fallen bodies.
Hmm. Can I hold an action?
You can
Or
swap initiative.
I can swap. Yeah, I'll swap with like Bramble, I guess.
Well, you can
Or
swap with either Donovan or the
Donovan.
goblin.
Yeah. Okay, Donovan.
Donovan? Okay.
Yeah.
So I will swap initiative with Donovan, which brings us to you, Donovan. What would you like to do?
Because it's been a while since I've read the rules for Dragonbane, and it's still packed in a box right over there somewhere.
Mhm.
Is in this game, can you move into a friendly space to do an action? You can't end your turn there, like in some other games, or can you not move through friendly
Yeah, you can move
squares?
through friendly, I believe so. Are you trying to like swing over his head or what?
Yeah, I was. If I can, if you're allowed to occupy the same space for an action, but not end your turn there, then I would move and attack this goblin beside Bramble. But I don't know what the
I
ruling is
think you
for that.
can. So you cannot move past a standing enemy who wants to stop you. Um, so it says friendly individuals can be passed without any problem. So yeah, I'll rule that, you know, he's a little guy. If you want to like swing over his head, I'll allow it. But yeah, you can't
Oh,
occupy. Yeah, you can kind. It's weird. We're in a weird situation where you can move past somebody or through somebody, but
I
because
can't.
of the map, you know, it's like in a weird area.
Even with your generous ruling, I can't because I can only move so much. So I will also pass my turn on to someone.
So then we're back to Serial, I guess.
Yeah, it's back to you, Serial. Sorry. I'm sorry, I'm slow.
Um,
That's funny.
I can't really do anything, so I won't do anything.
Okay, so you're just gonna. All right, so he starts to run back this way. He's not really. He doesn't see you get in really yet.
Can we
Um,
not use ranged attacks past allies?
I think you can. I think it might be a.
A bane, because I can't
Yeah,
see
I
anything.
think there is a bane. Let me look up ranged combat really quick. Uh, yeah, if your view of the target is partially obscured by an object or person, no matter if it's friend or foe, you get a bane on your attack. So yeah, she can, if she's within line of sight. But
I can see like the top quarter of a goblin token.
yeah, I'll
Uh,
see you can see him. So you're gonna get a bane on this shot if you decide to take it.
Might kill brambles, what you're saying.
I don't know you're gonna kill him, but I think it's I don't think it's therefore you hit Bramble. I guess we'll just have to see what happens.
It's a risk Gideon's willing to take from all the way over here.
I mean, okay, if we can retcon that a little and go back to Serial's turn, I'll give that a shot.
Well, I mean, it is your turn now, so.
Are you sure it says it's on the goblin's turn?
Oh, it does?
For me.
Oh, sorry, I hit the arrow. Go ahead. Now you should be on your turn.
Let me target him. And it's baned.
What? Another double dragon?
What?
Holy crap. Okay, well, do you want to do
That's
double
crazy.
weapon damage?
Double Dragon 2 was pretty good.
Damn, yeah. Double dragon 2. That's crazy.
That is crazy. So roll damage, I guess.
Can this
Hello,
episode be called Double Dragon 2 Electric
Double Dragon
Boogaloo?
2. I know. Exactly. Okay, so you chose double damage. So yeah, he's gonna try to dodge. Well, no, he's already tried to dodge, so his turn's over. So yeah, roll the damage.
I did.
Or no, you
It's
did.
14.
Sorry, you did. You're right. Okay, he's however you want to take him out as your arrows rush across the dusty ground outside into the dark corridor, pinning him to the wall.
Alright.
I don't know. It's up to you.
Oh,
I mean,
Yeah.
you don't have to say
Yeah.
anything.
let's do
That
that.
sounds good. Okay. All right. So I'm going to say combat is over right now. All of these goblins have fallen. Gideon, though, you do hear like this goblin talk on the other side, and you hear more footsteps heading your way. But what would you guys like to do?
We are going back above the door.
You're going to climb back up there?
Yep.
Okay, why don't you give me a what did we do last time? Acrobatics?
I believe so.
When jumping, climbing, balancing, and performing. That's interesting how they've chosen acrobatics as something that for climbing. I figured that would be strength. But it looks like that's better for you anyway. Okay, yeah, you make it up there with ease. The door is closed. You're on top of it. Are you assuming the same shield position again?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so the rest of you, what would you like to do as these goblins are bleeding out on the one of them in the corridor, the other one or the other two outside?
I think Bramble will turn kind of sheepishly to everybody and say, "Well, it worked out, so pretty good. There was 4 more left in there that I could see."
You're quite the tactician.
I didn't know I had it in me.
So you do see more movement, Gideon, up above. They seem unsettled. They seem nervous. You can hear the movement and the chatter coming above, and it's also coming from the other side of this door. Closer, getting closer. But they still, so for some reason, they didn't spot you.
Holding the shield in one hand, I'm gonna ready my whip in the other and just stay vigilant on the
Okay.
door.
Okay. So Bramble, Donovan, Serial. You know your companion Gideon has not made it out. He never exited this corridor.
Before going in, I think Bramble might want to check these bodies. Do
Okay.
they have anything of value?
Yeah, so you take a little bit of time, start checking the bodies. You see that they all have short bows. They all have short swords. They're all wearing leather armor. But that is all you find. You don't find any coin. However, you do see a symbol on their right shoulder, which I don't believe I have a picture of. Let me check the book really quick. I think there's just a description of it, if I remember correctly. It is not, though, the same one as the Sathmog tattoo that you've seen on the brigands and the cultists and stuff like that. It's a Maladuk.
I didn't even drink the energy drink, but I'm like wired.
You're wired now?
I'm wired tonight. Bramble's killing everything. Everybody's killing everything. It's exciting.
I think it's like if I remember, it's like a cleaver or something. Maladuk on there. Yeah, I see mentions of it. I forget what it is. Maybe it's in the very beginning of the adventure book, but anyway, I'll find. You guys, let me know what you'd like to do, and I'll keep looking for it. Just so
Ooh,
you
that's
know what it looks
smart.
like.
Sam Dark said that Serial should take one of the short bows until we can repair hers.
Yeah, of course. I wasn't gonna say it. I can't help you guys too much, but you know.
That's what
Yeah.
the chat's for.
That's
Yeah.
a good point. All right, I'll do it.
Okay, so feel free in Foundry. You should be able to go to the items menu and drag over a short bow into your inventory.
Thank you, Sam. You're a real one.
And you said you weren't going to pay attention, and here you are paying attention. Hey, Nayana. Hopefully I pronounced that correct. Thanks for joining us. So you are still way behind on the story, but this is the Dragonbane play you're watching. Well, awesome. Yeah, I'm not sure what episode you're on, but there's probably been a lot of player swaps if you're way back. Yeah, dang, I wish I could find this freaking symbol description. Anyway, for now, let's just say it's a, wait. No? I don't, man, I swear I've seen it in this book somewhere. Let's just say it's like it's a crude cleaver or something. But anyway, it's a very different symbol tattoo than the one of Sathmog, yeah.
I'll kind of point that out to everybody. Okay, check this out. Have you ever seen anything like this?
These goblins aren't perhaps tied to the orcs and goblins we met at the other cave, are they? And I'm asking that in game and also as a player because they're not connected to those, are they?
You don't know. You don't know if they're oh wait, here we go. I found it. It is 2 crossed meat hooks. I was close. It's not a meat cleaver. It's 2 crossed meat hooks burned into the flesh, not tattooed.
And that orc warrior woman didn't have that tattoo either?
I don't think you saw it. Remind me. I don't remember.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Why don't you roll me an awareness roll right now, and if you succeed, I'll tell you yes or no. Because I don't remember if I let you, if it was out in the open, these were armored. Oh man, a 17 on an awareness? What? That's no good. What is your awareness? 15.
It was close.
It was close. Okay, so screw it. I'll give it to you. It's close enough. Yeah. So you did catch a glimpse of this on the orc Agra. You remember her name was?
Yeah.
Who you met in the Oracle Cave.
Do we recall if Gideon sketched this symbol, or?
I don't think you did you, Gideon? I know you knew what Sathmog's mark was, but I don't know if you sketched this one.
On the goblins, I don't believe so.
I think that then Bramble will make a mental note to tell you about it and
okay,
like describe it so that you could sketch it to your book. Gideon's gonna want to know about what this was.
Nice.
And then he will go ahead and look at the others before heading into the tunnel, stepping over goblins.
Okay, you start stepping over goblins. And just when you do so, again, more boiling liquid comes down on you. And I need you to roll me an evade to see if you're able to get out of the way.
I literally forgot that was there.
Yeah.
Already.
I didn't, but I thought that maybe they wouldn't have loaded it again or something.
Right, one and done.
Okay, so you dodge out of the way, and the boiling liquid hisses on the ground around you. Steam starts going up. Donovan, you see this as Bramble, I guess, jumps forward because again, it's a very narrow corridor. It's only about, I guess, a meter wide. So you could try to press yourself up against the wall to dodge it, or if you could jump forward, it's up to you, whatever you want to do.
I need somebody to toss me.
These goblins did not have any sort of shields or anything.
They did not, and you do hear them moving around above you more furiously. You hear the clanging of metal. You hear the strain of a bowstring. You're very familiar hearing Serial take shots off. So that's what you hear above you.
Quick, we must move. And I will start running towards the door at the end of the corridor.
Yeah, the door is closed. You do spot Gideon briefly in shield form above the door, but you kind of just, you push through. Are you just going to like throw the doors open, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, I'd say, hello, my friend. And as I run to the door and I swing them open and begin, and just, I'm avoiding the whatever the liquid is, so I'm trying to rush right in.
Okay, yeah, you rush into this massive chamber that, again, the ceiling is just impossibly high. You can't discern. It's almost depthless. It's like looking at the night sky because there's just all this glimmering light above you. And this is a 4-pillared large chamber. You do see a statue at the very center being illuminated by this light. So you can move, I guess, as far out as you'd like, your movement into this room, or you can just be on the, right at the beginning of it. It's up to you.
I think he would probably get into the room, maybe 1 square in, and then turn immediately in and like waving his hands like, come on.
Okay.
To everybody.
Okay, so you make your way in there. You do see 4 more goblins that kind of start to, they're in this half circle situation looking at you. You do notice, though, that they're kind of hesitant to attack. They have their hands on the sheaths of their swords. Another one has a bow at the ready, knocked, but it's not pointed at you. They seem a little bit, like I said, hesitant to attack right away. They're kind of sizing you up because they heard exactly what went down on the other side. Okay, so get in. You're hanging out above the door. Donovan and Serial, anything you guys would like to do?
So yeah, Donovan would have, when Bramble kind of was like, let's go. He would have also just not panicked, but like, all right, yeah, let's go. And he would have discarded the notion of trying to cleverly get past this trap. He's gonna just try to run through it because he doesn't really understand how it works.
So you're gonna just run like hell, basically. And how far can Donovan run when he's running like hell? Like 4 squares?
4. Is it 4 or 2 squares? Because what is?
Let's see. If you're only running, so your movement's 4, which means you can move 2 squares. So you could move 4 squares.
Yeah.
So you could, you could make it here, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not quite below Gideon, but pretty close.
Yep. And roll evade to evade the trap.
Yeah. So as you're running, you do hear a thong, like of a. That was not a great bow sound, but that's what it was. So this let me roll his. Where is it? Short bow. Here we go. So an arrow flies out of the darkness, but ricochets off the wall, and you make it all the way to right there. So Serial, you're all alone outside the gates. What do you want to do? Is he kind of just barrels in as quickly as he can, which looks like it's in slow motion, I guess. It's always dramatic. It's always like, oh.
Yeah.
Can I try to carefully do it? Or if they ruin that by running through?
Well, so you did hear like a hissing splash of something on the other side. You did hear a very familiar sound of an arrow ricocheting off stone. So you know there's some business going on in the corridor.
Can I try to be aware of the traps as I go through?
Well, I'll say you don't think they're traps. You think they're people shooting from arrow slips above.
Oh, okay. Then I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
this isn't like an Indiana Jones trap
bomb
or
it.
anything like that.
All right. If that's the impression I get, I'm just gonna run.
You're just gonna
Sprint.
run? Okay. So again, another bow goes off. Okay, that's a success. So you can try to evade it if you'd like. Or you can take the hit.
Yeah, I'll try to evade it.
Okay, roll me an evade. Okay, you successfully float out of the way of this arrow. And do you want to run past Donovan into the room, or do you want to stand behind him? Because you can move through him if you want.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure your
I'll go
movement
here.
is a lot, right? It's yeah, you have 14, meaning you can move 7 squares, which is yeah, you can move all the way to like right behind him if you want to.
Yeah.
Is there
I was-
an assist? Could she grab Donovan or push him forward to go quicker?
Yeah, I mean,
she
you
want-
could yeah, she could shove him. Yeah.
I was just wondering if like that's something you could do as part of your movement is grab somebody and carry them with you.
Yeah, I don't know if she'd be able to carry. He's a big boy, isn't he? Like,
Well, like-
aren't you a
Help him, like
Yeah,
on.
you're 190, so you're pretty heavy. And you're a little stout, boulder of a dwarf. So yeah, I mean, you could push him along, I guess, but you might push him into the room, but then also you'd probably be still just at the edge of the corridor, I guess, because your movement would have ended right here.
Yeah.
So I would say that would definitely limit your movement if you're going to try to push Donovan if you want.
I was just wondering.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fine for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if I can, I'd push us right to the entrance of the door.
So I'll say you push him right here, and then where did you go? You vanished. Are you below Gideon?
Yeah.
Oh, you're below. Yeah, you're gonna be right there. So you're gonna be kind of
Okay.
like just on the just a step back from the threshold of this. So you're not quite in the room yet. So Gideon, as your party is fleeing into this room and you're hanging out up top, what do you want to do? Again, you seem to be invisible to whoever's shooting arrows and dropping steaming liquid down into this corridor.
I am gonna drop down and head through the door as well.
Okay. You drop down. Why don't you roll me a... Actually, I will roll them. Let me roll something here. Because they didn't notice you before, I'm going to roll an awareness to see if one of them sees you, and they do not. So you make it out into there. So you guys enter this large room, and like I said, it's just shimmering with this starlight almost. And there's 4 pillars that are rising up, and the ceiling is just, you can't tell how tall it is. It's a strange illusion. But right in the center of the room, right in front of these 4 goblins that seem to be sizing you guys up, you see a statue, but you notice that it is a headless statue, and it's holding a double-headed axe raised toward the ceiling. And as you guys step in, you notice the air gets a lot more cold and dank when you guys come in here, and there's just kind of this dreamlike haze in the room, contributed from the ceiling and just the like a subtle fog rolling around. But yeah, there's just goblins right there, and they are examining you, for lack of a better term.
I'd like to try to shout out an orc or whatever language the dark can use. Nightkin.
Okay, so you're gonna shout out an orc. They kind of look at each other like, ah,
I want
and
to
they
bring
go
up the
ahead.
name Agra.
Okay, so you say Agra, they look at each other, and then they say something, not in Orcish, but in Goblin. Why don't you roll me a persuasion check as you use this name? But I'm going to give you a boon because you said the name. Ooh, okay. You succeed with a 2. So you say this word agra, and you distinctly see recognition in their eyes, as well as surprise. They're kind of amazed that they've never probably heard a dwarf utter the name of this orc before.
We are allies of Agra.
Huh? Allies? Come with us. And they kind of start to form a line heading toward this back door that you see over here. This back gate.
So Joey the player doesn't trust that, but like Donovan the dwarf is gullible, so he's just like, okay. he'll start following them.
We show you
hold
way.
on, Uncle. Uncle, hold on.
What
Is this really a good idea? Should we follow them?
Of course, they know who Agra is.
Don't let your guard down. They might be bringing us into a trap.
You worry too much. He's gullible. He's got to be gullible about
He's
it.
got to do it. He's a gullible guy. Okay, so what about the rest of you? Are you just going along with this as these goblins kind of, walk over toward this back door and kind of beckoning you to follow? It's okay. Come with us. We won't hurt you.
Bramble will definitely follow. Just more looking out for. He doesn't trust what's going on, but he's looking out for Donovan.
Okay. What about Gideon and
Gideon's gonna follow to about halfway into the room, and he's gonna try to peer into this northern corridor area.
Okay, yeah, you peer into the northern corridor, and you see that there is a. It looks like there's perhaps some stalls in there. It's kind of difficult to make out from where you are because the light is so dim in that area. But from across the room, there looks like there are some stalls. And what is most interesting to you, though, is it appears there's like a smoldering fire, like a dying fire, right inside the room, opposite the entryway.
So when you say stalls, you mean like horse stalls or
there's
stalls?
you can kind of see the bathroom stalls, not in a fantasy RPG. Yeah, it's more like a horse stall. So you do see just these wooden divisions just lit by the smoldering fire.
Do I hear horses or livestock?
You don't hear any horses or livestock.
I'm gonna wait here until Sariel passes by, and then I'm gonna point that out.
Okay. So you hang out in the room, and then Sariel, are you following Donovan and Bramble and everybody else, or?
She's very suspicious of this. She definitely has her bow out. She might follow them up to the door, but she's not going in yet.
Okay, so you take notice of the smoldering fire in this other northern passage, and one of the goblins notices you. No, come with us. It's okay. Come with us. Nothing over there. Come with us. All will be well.
I don't know about that. But
It's okay. Come with us.
I do love how they say it's okay.
It's all right.
Yeah, me too.
It's okay.
I mean, I trust it.
It's okay.
The cuteness does make it a little bit more trustworthy.
Yeah, I mean, they may sound cute, but they, in fact, are wearing. You can smell them before you even saw them. I mean, they stink. Their swords are dragging on the ground. They have these short bows slung over their shoulder, and there's a couple of them have flies buzzing around them. They're not the most cleanliness of creature.
We helped Agra kill a giant spider.
Ah, very strong you must be. Yeah. You will tell Maladuk of your great deeds.
Is that who you're taking us to?
Mm-hmm, yes.
Who's that?
She's big boss.
Mm. She doesn't happen to be in spider form, does she?
No. And they all kind of laugh. Spider. They get a kick out of that.
I like these guys. They are fun. Let's go.
So they're kind of, come on now, let's go.
Yeah, I follow.
She no like wait. Okay, so you guys all follow them, and I'm going to need to move you guys into a new map here. So where is it? It is right here. So let us move here. All right, let me move your tokens. So let me know the marching order. I'm guessing Bramble is first.
I think Bramble's probably following Donovan.
Oh,
Yeah,
Donovan's first.
Donovan's,
okay.
Yeah.
So Donovan's first. Are Gideon and Sariel behind them, or are you guys hanging out in this major chamber here?
Gideon's gonna follow behind, but he's gonna try to keep a little bit of distance.
Okay, so you're going to be also following. Where is your token?
I think
There it
same with
is.
Ariel. She would be staying kind of by Gideon.
Okay, so but you guys are all following, right? You're not hanging out in this big chamber.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I am going to activate the scene now. So they take you into what is very clearly a mine. It's dank. There's a thick mist lurking, crawling across the floor. Your feet are kind of splashing in puddles periodically. You can also tell that some of the puddles are the goblins are kind of pulling you away from. No, not there. No, not there. And they lead you away to make sure you are safe, as if this puddle off to the side of this mine is perhaps a very deep and dark pool. But they're kind of leading you through with torchlight. It's kind of hard to keep track of where you're going. You're making lefts, you're making rights, you're going down corridors. It's a very foreign environment for all of you. I guess maybe Donovan, being a dwarf, you might have been familiar with something like this. But where you end up is this circular room, circular chamber. There is a brick furnace covered in glittering runes, stretches from the floor to the ceiling right in the back here, and it's spreading its light throughout the vast mountain hall. It smells here of burnt flesh and hair. And in the middle of the room, gathered around a minecart, is a group of orcs engaged in a heated argument. So you hear them kind of cursing and mumbling, and there's also these goblins who brought you here. And then one of them walks up to the very large... I will show you what she looks like. So the other goblins, or the other orcs, look very familiar to what you guys have seen already in the Oracle Cave, but she looks a little different. So let's do this. So you see this formidable character standing between these two orcs.
Oh, is she Shingle?
So she's broad-jawed, broad-shouldered. She's a very impressive sight. She has large fangs, numerous trophies of vanquished foes covering her body. And you can see that she is painted almost like in a war paint of deep red colors. And she has these very piercing eyes as she looks over the goblin that approaches her, and he's talking in, goblin. And then the goblin kind of retreats to the side over near this little pile of rocks over here in this mountain cave. And she takes a single step forward and says, "You know of Agra."
Well met. Yes, we've met Agra, and we assisted her not long ago, just a few days.
You help Agra. How?
Do you know of the name? And then I can't remember the name of the spider. You told us 100 times,
I
but
don't
I
remember
always
it either,
forget.
but it's okay. Yeah, we'll just
But-
we'll
Yeah, I
say that you
invoked
know
the
it.
name of that spider. Do you know of that ancient spider that wandered in a cave north from here?
No, I don't know of Spider.
Well, there was one north in another cave similar to this, and
And
Agra was with some more of your kin there, searching for something, right? And we decided to work together to take down the bigger threat, even though the elf there was did most of the work.
why you there? Why you help Agra?
Well, I was there. You see, me and the boy here behind me, we were captured by spiders and we're going to be eaten by the spiders, and then this little frog man and the elf here, they found us and rescued us.
She kind of considers this, looks back to the two orcs that are standing beside her, and she turns back to you and says, "This tall tale, you prove you know Agra."
I prove it.
With the extensive notes that Gideon takes,
Mm-hmm.
would he be able to describe her in good enough detail to be convincing?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so if you want to, you can either step forward, so you're overhearing this, Gideon, if you'd like, or you can pass this information on to Donovan, whatever you want to do, if you think that's the best course of action for convincing this orc.
I'll pass it on to Donovan.
Okay.
He
So
seems to be building rapport.
Yeah, he gives you a very detailed description of Agra.
All right, yep. And so Donovan passes it on, play a little game of telephone. And
Okay. So why don't you roll me a persuasion? I'm going to give you double boon though. One for uttering the name Agra, and another boon for Gideon's help.
So we could get triple dragons here.
You could.
Or triple demons, knowing my luck. Oh God, that scared me.
Wow, look at that. 3, 5, and 8. What is your persuasion?
12.
Oh, okay, so it's pretty good. Okay, her eyes, simmer in her head, and she nods. And she kind of eases, you see the orcs at her side. She holds her hand up, and they're more at ease now.
I feel a little more at ease, and I'm going to trust you with a little more information as to why we're even here. We are seeking something very valuable.
What you seek?
something that could potentially help us in dealing with demons.
You speak of Sathmog.
I try not to speak of him, but I do.
We too seek to rid the land of him and his kind.
Excellent.
So, yeah, so she seems to be pretty confident in your conversation and definitely at ease. The rest of the goblins kind of start making their way back down the mine. They seem to be kind of blocking your path when you turn around and look.
It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, and I forgot to mention another thing you guys notice is there is a very pleasant smell coming from the stove. It looks as if they are roasting a boar in the fire.
I'm glad it's a boar. You described burning hair and something else, and I'm like, ugh.
You thought it might be human or something
Might be
else?
people.
Might be people. Okay, so you tell her of this, and she actually proposes an alliance to you. You help us. We help you when time comes.
Would you mind? I have an outlandish request.
Speak.
I presume there are more of your faction around the area.
Yes, we wander and search.
I've been of great assistance to Agra. We slayed a mighty beast together. I'm more than happy to help you and have us help each other here. Could you give us, say a safe place to rest, but also, would you give me the mark of your clan, your tribe, however you refer to yourselves, so that if I am to run into more of you, I could convince them faster, easier, that we are allies.
You want the mark of Maladuk? And then the two orcs are kind of chuckling behind her.
I do.
She says, very well. Come closer.
All right.
So you head over.
I will touch his arm real quick. Be careful, this may be a trap. We'll whisper
It's gonna hurt probably, but I'm willing to do this. I've always wanted a tattoo. I never knew what to get, and this one could be useful.
Okay, so she leads you over to this this furnace back here.
Oh, I'm about to get poked.
And you you move up here. She guides you over. The one of the orcs, he tosses you this strip of leather. It might be a belt or something like that.
Yeah, I bundle it and coil it and put it in my mouth.
Yeah, bite down hard. And she's picking something in the furnace. You see, it looks like a poker or something like that, and she's rolling it around in the coals, in the hot coals. And she turns around and holds it up to her face, and her face is aglow with this very crude-looking brand. It doesn't quite look exactly like the brand that you saw on the goblins, meaning that it might take some actual artistry to create this thing, rather than it being like a cattle brand, where it's just a stamp essentially. So you're a little bit concerned because you're like, oh, this doesn't quite look the same.
Right.
You feel a hand on your shoulder, another hand on your back as they push you forward, and she just says, Are you ready?
I nod. My mouth is full of leather.
Okay, so one of the orcs grabs your wrist and pulls your arm out. Rolls up your sleeve, I guess, and then, you know, to your shoulder, basically where you saw the other ones. Unless you wanted to be marked somewhere else, it's up to you.
Oh, that'll work.
Okay, shoulder Maladuk. Okay, so yeah, she just presses this thing up against your skin on one side, kind of in a diagonal fashion, and it stings. It burns like hell, and she rotates at another 45 degrees and kind of makes an X, and you can kind of see her working this poker into your flesh as it's sizzling. You guys all smell this burning hair, burning flesh, adding to the cooking bore in the furnace. And
you know what I realized, guys? I haven't eaten dinner yet.
and you're gonna take
that deer. We ate it yesterday.
Yeah, it is overwhelmingly painful, and you take 4 points of damage, Donovan.
All right.
And you're sweating. Your knees are buckling under you. You've never experienced a pain like this before.
Yeah, I probably temporarily pass out from that.
Yeah, it's up to you. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah. You the rest of you just see Donovan kind of like slump over, and
Okay.
yeah, he passes out from that. He's old.
All right, so they kind of carry you over to the corner of the room, and they're pretty gentle. And they kind of set you down. What about the rest of you guys? What are you guys gonna do?
Not that.
Ian's gonna roll down his sleeves. He doesn't even have sleeves, but he's gonna wish he did.
Guess come forward.
Yeah, I was like, what do you do to that?
Yeah. Did she say her name?
Yeah, it's Maladuk.
Maladuk.
Yeah.
I think Bramwell might say, so, what is it that you want from us? We are partners now, but you say that we help you, and you then help us. What is it that you need from a group of amazing adventurers such as us?
Their statuette piece here. We can't get it. It's locked behind door. There is a crazy ghost in mine. Won't speak to us. Methinks dwarf friend of yours might be able to speak to it. Learn the secret how to open door. Inside, we believe, piece of statue.
A ghost? Ghost? Where is this door? And this ghost, is it the Negri ghost?
It's difficult ghost. No like to talk. Impatient. Does not like orc or goblin. Methinks to talk to you.
Well, we need to rest, and we will talk. But yes, we would like to help you, and I think that you may be right. We might be able to communicate with this ghost and find out how the door is able to be opened.
Okay. She nods and falls back into conversation with her two orc guards or companions or whoever they are in Orcish.
Go over
So-
to
okay.
Donovan and kind of help, like, wake up, Uncle.
Yeah, so if you guys do want to rest, like I don't know, a stretch of time or what, you're totally can. Or if you just want to wake Donovan up and get him to his feet and move on, it's up to you. But this is definitely a safe place, you can tell.
I'd like to rest.
Okay.
Um,
So you guys want to use
anything
your
that can
short
like
rest? Stretch rest?
yeah, stretch rest. Is there anything that we can like? Do they maybe have something to like I don't know, some sort of ointment or something that he can put on the brand to like
Oh, you're going to
help
ask
it
her
heal a little
for
bit?
some kind of heal? Okay. So she kind of leans over and listens to you and kind of grunts and nods. And she
Oh,
spits in her hand. This heal well. And she starts to go over to, and you can just see this snotty splat of mucus and saliva carrying it over to Donovan's shoulder. Are you going to do anything?
I'm
or
gonna
just let her
turn
go?
back to Gideon and Cyril and say, let's not tell Donovan about this. All right.
Getting
Where this came
13th
from.
Warrior vibes.
He does not need to know where this came from.
Gideon's notating everything in his notebook.
Okay.
we have a bandage. We can just cover it up.
Yeah, it's probably good.
Oh, yeah. You guys
While
have
it
bandages,
heals.
right? For healing too?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. So she presses her hand to his shoulder and it kind of startles him a bit. He kind of, you kind of start coming to Donovan and you feel a squeeze on your shoulder, a burn on your shoulder as well. However, it's a little bit, it's less painful than it was before.
Be still, Uncle. This is going to help it feel better.
You see Donovan kind of look over on his shoulder, and he gets a little smirk on his face, like, yeah.
It looks so cool.
Yeah. So, did you guys
I'm
want to
gonna-
rest? I mean, I guess I'll give Donovan if you want to do a short rest, Donovan, because you're.
Yeah, like that little I just roll.
Yeah.
When we,
Did you
when we
did you
slowly
hit the
click
button
on
or
it.
no?
No, not yet.
Yeah,
It's a
you can click
stretch
it.
rest, right? Yeah.
Yeah, stretch rest.
There we go.
Before I rest, can I ask them? I see that you use a lot of bows. Is there any chance that you could help me repair my bow? If I'm going to help with this ghost and this demon, I'm going to need a healthy bow.
So you ask this and you hear, me, give me fix bow. And you hear, you see one of these goblins rush up. He's jumping up and down. He looks super eager. He's looking at you kind of like a child. Me fix very good.
Mm.
It be okay. And
Yes.
Maladuk kind of shrugs. Ugh.
This is very special bow. She's very hesitant. She's not like this, but she's kind of painted herself into a corner, so she's gonna hand it to him. Be very careful, okay? Please.
Very careful. Yes, very careful. And he has his hands out like this, waiting for you to place them, in them.
Okay, I'll do it.
Okay. So he takes the bow from you and kind of goes over into the corner and he pulls some kind of strange tools out of his belt and starts going to work on it. So what else do you guys, let's see, what did I say? Typically it takes 1 shift to repair a damaged item and you need access. So yeah, it's going to take an entire shift.
We're not doing shift rest. What time is it?
Well, you guys just spent the night and you guys, it was morning time when you arrived. So it's probably still, late morning, I guess. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but you did grab one of the short bows from the goblins, so.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'll just borrow the other one for now.
So Gideon, give yourself another hit point too, because of I guess the Maladuk spit was healing somewhat.
Sweet.
What about the bandage? help?
I mean, you can heal him more if you want. I mean, sorry, Donovan. Yeah, you can get another. I know you just. It looks like you got recovered 1 HP, but you can have 2 because of the Maladuk spit.
Oops.
But yeah, I mean, if you guys have bandages, yeah, you can totally heal somebody.
There we go.
Yeah, I have bandages, so I'll
You do?
heal him if I can.
Okay. So basically, you just need to do a healing roll,
Oh,
and I believe healing. With this skill, you can get fallen companion back on their feet or save their lives. Read more on page 50. I think it's you need to have a bandage to make it successful, right? So where is it? Healing conditions. Do you not? Can you not heal hit points? Is it? Wait. Okay, so if someone tends you with healing skill while you are sick, the person can make the roll against. Oh, that's the disease. I think is healing doesn't give you hit HP. It just like gets you back on your feet. Let's see. So without bandages, you get a bane to the roll. This counts as an action. Multiple attempts are allowed. Oh yeah, sorry, it's D6 HP. That's right. So it's just going to be a straight roll with a bandage. And you can attempt multiple times if you want. And we're out of combat, so it really doesn't matter. What is your healing?
7.
Oh my God. Is anybody better at healing?
Donovan sees a
Donovan
serial.
Donovan's good at it? I mean, I guess you can tend to yourself. If you want to try to heal yourself with a bandage.
Yeah, he's more like, no, not like that. You gotta wrap it like this.
Yeah.
And
All right,
yeah.
I'll give him the bandage.
Yeah, clearly your work has frustrated him, and so he succeeds. So you can roll another D6, and you get that many more HP back.
Hey.
Yay, he's full. Did everybody roll a... Does anybody else need to do a stretch rest? Or are you guys just going to hang out? Because remember, you only get 1 stretch rest per day. Okay. Okay, so everybody's healed up.
I'm going to do one real quick.
Okay.
Okay. I'm back at full.
Oh, I forgot you lost HP. So yeah, everybody's back up. The orcs are feeding on the boar. They offer you some. There's still some. It's meat. It smells good, but there's still some burnt hair attached to it and skin. They don't seem to be too picky.
Yeah, I just peel it off. Pull it off and get
Okay.
to the meat of it.
Okay.
So
Okay. No, thank you.
I was wondering. I was coming in and out of consciousness. You mentioned something about a dwarf to speak to?
Yes, there ghost dwarf here in mine. We come through this way. And she kind of motions over here. And you do notice that there's a massive, like a fissure kind of in the wall. We come through mountain. We go in mine, we find ghost, and it no like orc.
Well,
So
that's
we
just
come here
terrible.
to think about approach.
Well, I'm not too fond that it's a ghost, but I think that me and my companions can handle talking with it.
Good. We hope you ally with us. You branded with Maladuk.
That statuette piece is important. Whether we can reason with it or drive it out, we will succeed.
You go now?
As soon as I'm done eating, yes.
Okay. So, you guys, I guess, get your fill. Those of you who are eating this cooked boar. If not, is there anything else anybody would like to do in this room while Donovan's finishing up?
Nope, Bramble's good. He's ready to go.
All right, as
Yeah.
soon as Donovan's done eating the last of the meat off the bone, he gets himself up with his staff and starts hobbling over towards the open space up here.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's not where she said the ghost is in the mine, which is this way.
Oh,
So it's
He's-
basically which way you guys came through already.
he starts going that way.
Starts going that way. So, yeah, you start to make your way in there, and it does get dark. So you feel like you're probably going to need a torch to proceed further. That's what the goblins had when they led you here.
I will whip out my torch.
Okay.
Yeah, I still have a torch.
Okay. You should be able to do that.
Oh yeah, that's right. If we click on our
Yeah, you right click and then click on the flame. So the torch goes ablaze and it hisses in a mist. You notice down this hallway, it's a very like ghostly haze that's thick through these corridors that are dank. There's water dripping from the ceiling. You see some of the water gathering at the corners of the room. This is some look shallow, some look strangely deep. But yeah,
is it like supernaturally cold? Like even the heat from the flame isn't that warm to me?
no, yeah, you can definitely feel the heat from the flame. It doesn't feel
Okay.
like a ghostly cold or anything like that, or it feels very natural. But you know, you're deep underground, underneath a mountain,
Mm-hmm.
so that's why it's so cold.
Everybody step carefully. There's nothing safe about traveling underground like this.
Yeah, so you make your way down the corridor. You do see reliefs on the walls
Ooh.
of dwarven reliefs. It appears that they are excavating something, digging deeper, and you do know the legend of this place and how Bothild, she dug too deeply.
Yeah,
and
greedily.
perhaps made her way to the other side, the other world. But yeah, you guys keep walking down. I'm assuming everybody's following. It's just the marching order, so it's Donovan first, Bramble, Sariel, and Gideon. So yeah, you come straight into a corridor, and the easternmost side is flooded up into this wall that looks like some of the stonework is crumbled down, and then it branches off heading west.
Does the water look deep or just like shin high, ankle high?
This
For
one
the
over
flooding?
here looks pretty deep. You can't quite see the bottom of it. You can see that it goes down to a murky depth.
I don't think you can swim, Uncle. We should probably try the west way.
I can't swim very well, but Gideon's amphibious, right?
Yeah, but when it comes to swimming, I'm not great.
Actually, put
The
together
frog
some-
isn't great at swimming. Hey, Donovan, as you're kind of looking around, taking the lead here, why don't you roll me a spot hidden?
Spot hidden very well. Where's the spot? There it is.
Okay, you succeeded. You notice a small fissure or break in the wall to the southeast right here. It looks like you might just be able to squeeze through if you were to make your way in that direction. You don't know if it's a dead end or not, but it's a large enough crack in the wall to squeeze through.
My dwarven curiosity. There's a space here that I can get through. I'm not wearing bulky armors. And, yeah, he'll try to squeeze through it.
Okay, so you make your way over there, and you can see that the mine floor starts to dip down into the depths, but there is enough craggy rock just below the surface where you can you make it. But as you step forward, you hear the crunch and crumble of rocks, and some of these ones that are off to the eastern wall start rolling down from the ceiling. And I need you to roll me an evade roll as these boulders are well, not boulders, but large enough rocks do damage come toward you.
Everybody watch out! And a failure.
Oh no. Okay, are you going to push the roll?
No.
Okay, so you are pummeled with rocks. They hit the water. They also splash up this ice cold. It's like water you've never felt. It's so cold. But as far as damage goes, you suffer. Do you have any armor?
I do not.
Okay, so no, that's falling damage. So these rocks pummel into you, and you suffer 7 points of damage.
5, 6, 7.
And then also, you are splashed with this cold water.
I draw the line there.
Let's see here. I need you to roll me a bushcraft check.
Okay.
As this water seeps into your soul.
My soul?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh no.
Okay. So I want to say something really quick.
Yeah.
The dies are predetermined because as soon as I clicked on bushcraft before it even fully landed on that demon, it gave me like the up arrow mark to be able to better my bushcraft at the end of the session. So it knew already. I was hoping it was going to be a 1, but it was not.
Well, if you want, you can you're just shivering. You can't, your teeth are chattering. This is just like, it's like you've been hit with liquid nitrogen almost.
Ooh.
Even though you don't know what that is, but it's like incredibly cold. So all of you guys around him, you see him just feverishly shivering. And you don't know what is quite going on. The torch itself is starting to fall from his grasp.
Ignites the.
I think Bramble will try to catch the torch, and at the same time, see about maybe pulling him from the water and back onto the.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You successfully pull him over.
Uncle, come over here where it's dry.
It doesn't make. Why don't you roll me a con check?
A con check?
Yeah. It's so basically this. You have to suffer cold, and cold in this game is usually like weather. So that's why it called for a bushcraft check. But I feel like in this instance,
do you want me to do it with a
bane
because I rolled a demon on the bushcraft?
No, just roll me a con, like a straight con. Okay, that fails too. I guess it doesn't matter. So you're also going to lose. This thing is rattling your very being. You lose 6 willpower points as well. As Bramble kind of carries you to dry land.
It's a good thing Gideon did not dip into that water. It's very cold.
Are you all right?
I've been better. I've been better, Bramble. This is I'm getting old. My adventuring intuitions aren't as good as they used to be.
Yeah,
Did
as
we
you guys
know
are.
that they- I'm
Oh,
sorry,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Did we know that the ghost was and the door was it in that direction or
I think she said Maladuk said like roughly to the south, but when you guys came through here, there was a lot of directions. There's a lot of corridors and turns, and
Crevices.
so you might have to explore a bit. But Donovan, even though Bramble has kind of pulled you away from the water, like and dragged you up a little bit, you're still just shivering intensely. Like this looks bad. As in he needs to get warm quick.
I have a torch.
Yeah, you could do that. I will remind you that you just left a chamber with a blazing furnace as well.
yeah, part of me wonders how good it'll look if we like immediately we walk back in
He's
5
all
minutes
wet.
later and are like,
Yeah.
yes, it didn't go so well.
So yeah, you guys have 2 torches. If you want to sit here and kind of warm him, like I'll let that pass. Be good enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that
Okay.
what Bramble will try to do. Warm him
Okay.
up,
So
rub his
you
hands together.
you warm him up well enough. His teeth have stopped chattering. He's able to kind of stand on his own 2 feet now. Yeah. So there's the western passage leading, and there's still that little fissure in the wall that Donovan tried to reach, but lost his footing and caused a mini landslide.
Like I said, be careful stepping around here.
The good thing is, some of these large rocks have kind of piled up, giving you more footing under the water, in the water.
Oh well, then, yeah, Donovan will definitely go back to investigating that crevice if it's safer now.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, you're a little bit trepidatious because you know how freezing cold this water is, but
Yep.
your your desire for adventure trumps it. So you kind of head down there, and you do indeed see that it crosses over into a very small chamber.
There's a space down here, over here.
Is there another way in?
I can't tell from here. I'm gonna, can I go, like, further
Yeah,
into the
you
chamber?
can go all the way. Yeah. So you kind of try to keep away from the cold water. Can you fit through or no? There you go.
Yep.
So yeah, you make your way into this very small chamber, and there's actually a corridor leading to the west as well. But this is a half-submerged rock chamber, and it's illuminated by these glittering stars that are reflecting off the water. And on this door you're facing right here, you see a stylized portrait of a female dwarf with a raised axe and a silver apple in her hands. It adorns a door. Yeah, this is the stone door, and there's an archway above it, and it's inscribed with glittering runes. And there are 3 severed hands lying at the floor in front of the door. So just to reiterate, there is a portrait of a female dwarf with her axe raised high, and this triggers a memory of the larger chamber you entered with the glimmering starlight. It was a headless statue out there, but it was a dwarf, and it was rising or holding the double-headed axe toward the ceiling. And there's some kind of glittering runes above, and there's 3 severed hands lying on the floor in front of the door.
Like actual hands or like stone statue hands?
They're actual hands.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Get
they're
in.
actual hands. These severed hands. Are you going to go inspect them or what? Get closer?
What? Do you need a hand?
You just see them like claws at the. Yeah.
We need to consult your book. I found something intriguing.
I think Bramble
Uh,
will start making his way through the tunnel so that everybody else can come in as well.
Yeah, okay. You make it in there. You squeeze. Well, I guess you don't even really squeeze through. You're pretty small.
And I found some hands.
would I have to dive through to get?
No, I'm gonna say you can make your way. You can kind of step along the rocks. So there's these rocks. A lot of the fallen rocks that Donovan created have kind of created a little bit of a walking path. So you can make your way.
Gee, I helped.
Anyone can make their way over there. So yeah, these hands, Donovan, they're sort of at your feet, right at the bottom of this door. Do you want to inspect them? They're kind of at your feet, just fingers clawed.
Yeah.
Okay, so you take a look closer. One appears to potentially have belonged to a dwarf. The other one looks to be human, and the other one looks to be goblin. And there are, like I said, there's writing on the wall. However, it's not in any kind of common. It looks like it might be some kind of dwarvish that you noticed on the outside. Which, if you do try to read it, if you do try to read it, I'll give you a boon to your languages roll, since you are a dwarf.
Gideon, you notice that the portrait, the picture holding it was a silver apple?
Yeah, there's a silver apple. There's the axe as well. That is being held.
You found things about a dwarf woman who was a hero who got too greedy in this mine. Is there anything about silver apples in the notes in that book about her?
Let me check my book of ancient heroes and villains.
And
why don't you roll me a
languages?
Roll me a you rolled languages. Okay.
Yeah,
so you
for
succeed.
the dwarf runes.
So there are 3 words, and in this order they read honor, wealth, and mother.
Huh. Honor, wealth, and mother. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because it made me think of Mucha Lucha, honor, family, and donuts. But anyway.
And what you do notice as well, now that you're kind of facing this door, very close to it, you see that there's kind of a small, there's an edge to the apple, there's an edge to the portraits, and there's an edge to the axe, as if they're 3 independent things that look like they were put there. They don't look like they're carved directly on the face of the door, as if they're embedded.
You make any sense out of this, Gideon?
Did you roll a myths and legends, Gideon?
I did not, but I can.
Yeah, roll me one with a boon. Oh, you succeed anyway, so you don't need to do that. Yeah, so you do learn more about Bothild, and you know she was very fond of the double-headed axe. And you again find the same legend of her, who she and her people dug too deeply into the mine and found something very terrible indeed. But that's really all you find. You don't find anything else.
Perhaps this is some kind of a test or a puzzle. I'm very terrible at these.
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
How
But
are the hands laid out on the floor?
so they look like were dropped there. They look like they had fallen to the ground. They're not in any kind of particular order. They're just lying there as if they fell away. But they're right in front of the door. They're kind of clustered there.
I don't want to lose my hand.
Is there blood pooling? Like they were lost there, or?
Yeah, there's I'll say there's some dried blood below them.
Since we arrived and we've seen a bunch of goblins, have we seen any missing their hands?
You have not.
Just their heads.
Just their
Yeah,
heads.
it's
Exactly.
kind of weird that they did not even bring that up. They were like, oh, "You killed four of our group."
That is an excellent catch, though, Gideon. Yeah, so something's caused these hands to drop on the floor here. Something to do with this door.
And perhaps that axe, maybe that there's a penalty for getting the puzzle wrong.
Sheriel, you're fast. Can you open the door really, really fast without losing a hand?
Looks like you haven't set up any.
Goodness.
I don't know about that. My only weapon requires 2 hands.
That's a good point.
But I think that's where we're going to stop this evening. I think we're
goodness.
at time, everybody. So
No,
as you
I'm gonna
guys,
stew on this puzzle all week.
I know. Now you guys are facing this mysterious door with a dwarf, an axe, and a silver apple. Yeah, we're gonna stop it here. So thank you guys. We had a great turnout on the stream. So thanks for hanging out with us. And if you're watching in the future, thanks for that too. Thanks Patrick for the module and the system, of course. Thanks Noel and Andreas for the tunes. And I think next week we might have a little bit of a mix-up, guys. So or switch up. I think we're gonna play. I put a poll out on the YouTubes, and it seemed like the vast majority of you guys wanted to check out the latest Conan game that's being released. I think it's coming out early next year sometime. They just kickstarted it. There's some quick start rules, so I'm gonna work like crazy to get that all set up, and I think we're going to play the little one-shot adventure that comes with it. So come check it out if you guys are curious about that game, or if you've seen the Kickstarter and you want to see us stumble through a new rule set. We'll be here same time, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific and 10 p.m. Eastern. So until then, thanks again, everybody, and we will see you on the next stream. Bye.